How's it going, everybody? Before we start, I wish you all a Merry Christmas and I hope you had an amazing couple of days. In other news, we do have a video sponsor. Amino once again was kind enough to sponsor one of my videos. If you're unfamiliar with Amino, it is a mobile app with a network of communities for pretty much every interest imaginable. But as we are gamers here, it's obviously the For Honor Amino that's interesting here. As you can see, unlike others that might endorse a product, I'm actually using this app myself. Ever since I was introduced to it, I'm actively participating in it. Whether you use it to keep up with the recent patch notes or you just want to check some videos, my personal favorite is the fan art. Every day you'll see new pictures posted and it's pretty much impossible to be disappointed by the quality. If you're still not convinced, I opened up a chat specifically for this where I'll be popping in regularly the next few days. So if you have any questions that you want answered from me, now's your chance. To participate, all you have to do is click the link to download the Amino app in the video description. The app is free and available for both Android and iOS. You can find me in the For Honor Amino under the username Freeze. I'm looking forward to all your questions. With that out of the way, today's topic is flickering indicators. And with that I mean attack indicators, guard break indicators, or even unblockable indicators. But before we go into the details, a few caveats. I'm limiting this video to the most common ones that you will most likely encounter, especially since these can be done by accident quite easily, so there's a high chance your opponent doesn't even know what he/she just did. With that in mind, most of the flickers you'll see are either borderline useless or don't contribute to the viability of a character or that specific move at all. We know that probably none of them are intended behavior, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that's a bad thing. You can decide for yourself on a case-by-case basis whether this is something that you would want in the game or if that's something they should fix. Lately Ubisoft has been pretty strict and they're removing everything that's not working as they think it should, even though it's a cool mechanic. I'm sure everyone remembers Shaolin unblockable heavy into Shiggstas. I'm going to go over a few examples and you've seen some of them already. The most basic one of these flickers comes from Shiggy and Centurion because of their charged heavies. If charged long enough, Gok is neutral and since combo heavies turn into unblockables. I've gone over the concept of delaying feints in the previous video and this is exactly that. If you feint your attack at the correct timing, then you can flicker the unblockable symbol for a few frames. Like I said before, it's not a big deal and I doubt many people will fall for it. Centurion's soft feint into guard break probably has the highest chance of success, but still, it's just a few frames. I mean, both of these characters desperately need something, but maybe we can get another nerf in for Shiggy. Fingers crossed. The next type of move is similar as it also comes from the charge mechanic of attacks. Shinobi and Conqueror have this wind-up animation for their ranged or unblockable heavies respectively. Here it is the attack indicator itself that can show a wrong direction at first. Especially in Conqueror's case, this can lead to extremely weird animations where it just skips from one to the other without any transition. It is actually quite the common occurrence as a simple guard switch at the correct time can cause this. Which leads me to the question, why is this still a thing? This has been a known issue for Conqueror since basically Season 1. There is no excuse for this still being in the game regardless of its effectiveness. Which brings us to another case that boggles my mind. Shaolin can flicker an indicator in Shiggstas before transitioning into the actual move. This is the exact same principle as the zone flicker back in the day. Why does the game allow you to input another move after you've let go of the button that kept you in the stance? Just force the player to hold the light or heavy button down and only then you can input a different move. But the very moment you let go, you perform either a light or a heavy. There is absolutely no reason to have a generous window here. We've already established the fact that Shaolin's kick requires a read and is not reactable. So the little flicker serves no purpose whatsoever. It's still unreactable. It just makes it look sloppy. Next up is Charmin. In her case, the flickering actually serves a purpose and makes the moves better. She can flicker both attack indicators and the unblockable symbol on her forward dash attacks. Her headbutt move has a variable timing depending on distance, so flickering the unblockable symbol is certainly a good strategy. Once again, it's simply a matter of inputting the feint at the correct time. And as a last example, we have Lawbringer. His one is the least likely to happen on accident, so if you encounter it, the person probably did it on purpose. But the risk is quite high, as throwing a neutral long arm it's not such a good idea. And that about sums it up already. Like I mentioned at the beginning, not everyone might agree with these flickers being in the game, and for some moves I absolutely agree that it needs to be fixed, but not everything that is unintended behavior is necessarily bad. I hope you guys at least can agree with me on that. Feel free to let me know which ones you think are a cool addition and which ones should be removed ASAP. I want to give a quick shout out to the people that helped me here. Thanks to Kitys, Enmu, Shiggstas and Kashi. I will link to their streams, if they have one that is, in the description below. And check out Amino, it really is a cool community we have there. I hope the video was helpful. Thanks for watching. Laters everybody.
Noch 12 Sekunden brauche ich. Oh, schau her. Ah, gut, passt. Jetzt.